We rank anything and everything, trivial or deep. No matter what the outcome is, we promise that you'll weep.
Tears of joy.
Hello and welcome to Tears of Joy, the podcast where we rank anything and everything. I'm Charles.
And I'm Andre.
And this week, we're talking about Super Mario characters. But first...
Super Mario,
yeah. Some people call him Mario. I don't like that. I don't buy
I,
it.
I feel like that's just wrong.
It's
like,
incorrect.
just not.
But a lot of people call him Mario. Anyways, Mario. But first, we're on video now. And that means everyone can see me do this.
Gosh, I would. Wow. This raises an interesting philosophical debate whether it's better to just hear that sound or to see the dab and hear the sound. Because for those who are just listening on audio, I don't even know if that's even plausible, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll put this audio somewhere someday.
Right. But you just dabbed like 3 times and made those horrible, awful sounds as you did it.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, no, that's definitely a compliment's work.
Sure.
So, there's that. We're on video now.
There's that. We're on video now, so you get to look at our great faces.
Also, my Super Luigi poster. It's kind of just.
Do you think that's you think we should be calling these Luigi characters?
I guess I never really thought too deeply about the fact that we always call it the Mario series, and we always call these the Mario games, when Mario's just one of the dudes. But we'll get into how I feel about Mario when we're actually ranking the people, I guess.
Wow.
I'm
detecting some salt. It's kind of salty.
You're detecting some salt, some knackle, if you will, some sodium chloride. I don't think that's necessarily the case, honestly. I think you're misinterpreting things a little bit, but
okay.
I guess we'll just see.
Well, let's get started with everyone's main man / woman.
What? This is
Toad.
Okay.
The species.
Okay. Yes.
Toad is not a person. That's
Toad
what's
is
always
a toad.
confusing to me. There's a bunch of toads.
Oh, what's
There's
confusing about
Toadette.
that, huh, Charles? Are you feeling
I'm just
some
saying,
sort of way about toads?
When you're playing Mario, when you pick Mario, it says Mario and not human.
But
then when you pick Toad, it just says Toad. But toads are like a whole group of people. The toads suffer so much in the Mario universe. The very first Mario game, and this is true, the blocks that you break with your head are actually toads that Bowser has turned into bricks. There aren't just random bricks around. You turn the toads into bricks, and you have to smash them. And sometimes you hit them, and like a mushroom pop will come out. That's a freaking toad's head. I mean, I assume it's a toad's head. I don't understand why else a mushroom would come out of it.
Right, you haven't done the research to really understand the nuances of it.
I haven't done the experiments, yeah.
Right.
But these poor toads, they just deserve so much more. They're always screaming. Like, you click in a toad and he's like, ah!
Right. That is what happens.
Does
this mean you're saying you like toads? I'm
going to give toads A tier. They deserve more. They contribute a lot to the Mario universe. And there's a lot of them.
Does quantity a big part of your rankings here?
It has to do with how they've been so underappreciated that we've just lumped them all into one group of squishy-headed boys and girls. And then it's like Toad, and then there's Toadette.
Right.
Is this like a Smurfs and Smurfette situation?
I really think it's just it's not necessarily Toad squishy boys and squishy girls. It's just kind of squishy toads. They are what they are.
Right.
We already talked about how we have trouble trying to classify them too much, and we just have one big blob of toads. Whatever they want to do is up to them. Whatever they want to name themselves is up to them. I'm not going to encroach on their toad rights or try to enforce some sort of categories or
Toad rights.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. These are the real issues you need to be worrying about right now in the year 2020. Are just toad rights. I honestly agree with a lot of what you said. I was surprised you put them in A tier because I was the same tier I originally had them in. I personally just really appreciate their selflessness. You know, they are there to serve their people and to serve Princess Peach, and they really do their job with no pretense. There's in Super Smash
Do you
Bros.,
feel
for
do you
example,
feel like we're being racist right now? Like, not like actual racism, like, because it's not a real thing, but we're
Right.
like, oh, the Toad people all act this way. Like, I know they're not real. It just feels weird to be like, oh yes.
I
the
will say,
Toads
I don't know
are
what
good
you
people.
were talking about. I was referring to the singular character Toad,
Who is Toad?
as opposed to. That's a great question. Let's go to the Mario Wiki real quick. Toad is a character who is Princess Peach's attendant and longtime protector of the Mushroom Kingdom. He is actually a singular character among an entire species of lookalikes, leading to confusion over some of his appearances. He usually has the role of a supporting character who tries to help Mario and Luigi on their adventures, although he occasionally has been a main protagonist, such as in Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario 3D World, and his starring roles in Wario's Woods and Kinopio Live. So,
Wow.
Toad the character and Toad the species are two different entities, both of which I appreciate. However, it's obviously difficult to just generalize the entire group of people.
Sure.
I was just saying Toad as an individual does a lot to help his people and a lot to help
Mm-hmm.
Mushroom Kingdom, and I agree that he goes underappreciated. I was gonna say
Now-
in Super Smash Brothers, Princess Peach's neutral B, she just
I
kind
was
of
gonna
throws
say.
a Toad out, just take the hit for me, buddy, and then he takes the hit and it's a counter.
But like Toad is into that. Not like
I
like he's
whoa.
No. Okay, that came out weird. That came out
Whoa,
weird.
whoa, buddy.
That I'm not saying
Hold
Toad
the
likes
phone on
being
that
hit.
one, dude.
I'm just saying, if you look at Toad's face in that freeze frame, he's like, haha, yeah, hit me, sucker. Like, we're totally gonna. He's like, haha, yeah. I'll put a picture of Toad up on the screen because it's video now, but everyone will know what I'm talking
Right, mhm.
about.
Yeah.
He's like, haha, I'm Toad, and I'm gonna spit acid. He like spits acid in response,
we
and
don't-
that's weird.
We don't need to worry about that. That's
Anyways.
Toad's business and Toad's business alone.
That's just Toad.
But yeah,
I guess,
A tier.
like-
I respect
Yeah.
Toad a lot, and I also really do like the fact that you have a lot of different varieties. You know, biodiversity is a very important aspect of the modern
Sure,
world,
sure.
and toads have all sorts of different, you know,
Head
hues
colors.
and yeah, there's a lot of different stuff
Yeah.
to handle there. So I like toads a lot,
It's cool.
and Toad, two separate things. Toads
and Toad. Yeah. Let's jump into the next character, who I'm gonna say is Daisy. Daisy is so confusing. I don't know why they keep including her in things. Because she doesn't Mario games have so many things where you'll have like a game like Rosalina. Rosalina we're not going to rank in this because it's just another character, but she's in Super Mario Galaxy. She's a functional character. She's a character and she does stuff. So I understand why they put her in Mario Kart games
Right.
stuff. Daisy has just been around. She's like presumed to be like Luigi's princess girlfriend or whatever, but she's not like. She's never. All she ever is in like Super Mario Party. She's like, I'm a superstar.
I was
Like,
gonna
she's
say,
like-
her voice sends chills down my spine. I feel
Yeah.
violated just hearing her speak. I will say, going back to
Wow.
the wiki here, one of the only characteristics of Daisy that is noted in the Mario wiki, the official Super Mario wiki, is that she is a tomboy. And that to me is bizarre because you never see Daisy in like Mario Kart 8 and go like, it's Daisy, the old tomboy, love me some
Yeah.
Daisy. Like there's not really a moment she has to shine, but all the moments she has to just be there, you don't really think much of her.
She's very unremarkable.
Yes. Now, again, this could be an issue of potentially not giving her enough room to show off what she has to offer. But just I had a very traumatic experiences playing Mario Party on the DS and having her repeatedly say, I'm the superstar. And just her voice, shrill, arrogant, it really did not leave a good taste in my mouth. And I don't get good vibes from
Yeah.
Daisy. I really
Um,
hope I'm wrong.
I'm giving.
But
I'm giving her a D.
I was
for
also
Daisy.
going to give her a D. Not necessarily D for Daisy, but if that's how it worked out, that's how it worked out.
Sure.
Yeah, I hope Nintendo someday can just prove me wrong and show me that Daisy has a lot to offer to this world. But in her current state, where she is currently as a person and where she's been represented in the media, I can't necessarily rank her any higher than that, you know? It's not easy.
Next up, let's do the big spiky man himself. Bowser. King Koopa. How do you feel about him?
Bowser is an essential aspect of the Mario universe. That's undeniable. We all know this. Not only because he plays the role as the antagonist, but also because he is the one who just always causes the inciting incident, or almost always causes that inciting incident, where without Bowser, this would just be a game about Mario and Luigi and people jumping around doing nothing. So he really is necessary. And then also, it makes it even more interesting when in a game like Super Paper Mario, or Bowser's Inside Story, or to some extent Super Mario Odyssey, he's not necessarily the big bad. There's also other forces at play, and kind of like King Dedede in a Kirby game sort of situation, where oftentimes, you think Bowser's the bad guy, but maybe he's not so bad after all. Maybe he's gonna go karting with you after things are said and done. It leaves like.
You think Bowser's invited to that?
What's the alternative?
Like, I feel like, well,
he just invites himself.
He clearly knows how to kidnap Princess Peach, so he's like, "Hey guys, invite me to your go-kart thing. I'm gonna steal your princess again." And they're like, "Ah, man, I guess we gotta."
I don't want to be presumptuous. I don't want to just assume that the worst of Bowser. And Bowser's also been through a lot. There's a whole character of Dry Bowser, which when you really think about it is pretty horrifying. It's Bowser and also Bowser as a character has been dunked in lava time and time again since the very first Super Mario Brothers game. And apparently this happened one too many times, and Dry Bowser is just Bowser, but just his skeleton. And he still lives on. Right. And that element of raw power and resilience really makes him something a force to be reckoned with. Does this mean I agree with his morals? Absolutely not. I think that just personally, I don't know about you, Charles. On a personal level, I don't think kidnapping people is necessarily the best thing. Kind of rubs you the wrong way a little bit.
Yeah.
I know it might be a little controversial. I understand.
I know. I just like kidnapping people.
I don't know. I kind of think that kidnapping people is actually pretty fun and cool.
I don't know. I just have all these burlap sacks, and if I'm not putting them over someone's head or filling them with money, what do I do with it? Potatoes? No thanks.
Yeah, I totally see where you're coming from, but for that reason, me personally, I think Bowser's a great and essential part of the universe. But I don't think he's a good person. I don't vibe with him that deeply. So it's tough.
What letter do you give him?
I'm debating between B, partially for Bowser, or A, just because I really do want to stress, without Bowser there is no real conflict, and this is really someone looking at it from a narrative standpoint as opposed to anything else. But I think that without Bowser, what do you have here in these characters? You got that much to work with.
I'm giving Bowser a C tier.
Really?
Because he does not learn from his mistakes.
Okay.
You cannot keep stealing people. And now you're saying that without Bowser there would be no story. But Mario Kart, Mario Sport, Mario Fight.
What are you?
All of these Mario Hurt with brothers.
What?
Mario
Kart, Mario Sport, Mario Fight.
All of Mario games are not just Bowser take woman. Some Mario games are Mario and his friends have fun together.
You created your own language in those last 3 sentences.
Yes.
And I understood where you were coming from, but I still think it's very interesting.
I'm just saying, Bowser, is he important for some games? Yes. But also, he's not.
Wow.
So I'm giving him a C for coconut, because his shell is a coconut with spikes on it. Now, next up, Who should we do next? We'll do Waluigi next.
We'll do Waluigi next.
He's Waluigi.
That is his name.
We did just to clarify for the listeners / watchers / viewers. I'm gonna redo that. Just to clarify for the listeners / viewers. No one calls himself a watcher. We recorded part of the episode, and then the video got all messed up. So we've already talked about Waluigi a little bit, but we'll just reiterate what we said. I think Waluigi's Sorry, I just get so I just get so flustered talking about this long purple man.
Oh my gosh.
I think
as
Waluigi
soon as you said
is
long
nice.
purple, I imagined the eggplant emoji, and I hope you know that's the horrible thing that you cursed me with.
But
You said Waluigi.
you know, if
Sorry.
Waluigi is the eggplant emoji.
It's
you
the
know?
worst.
Like,
One of the worst
no.
things you've said.
No.
No.
Hear me out. Do some people look at the eggplant emoji and see a bad part? And see, you know, some suggestive content.
Like that?
Yeah, but it's an eggplant. That's all it is. It's just an eggplant. And Waluigi is just a man, the same as you or I or Mario or his friends.
I really want to
has a
hear
nose.
this entire monologue
Pointy, yeah,
again
pink
in a
nose.
British accent performed dramatically.
What is the difference between a man and Waluigi? Nothing. Nothing at all. I don't understand. People hate on him.
Do people
And
hate
people
on him?
sexualize him. Why can't he just be a Waluigi? So I give him A tier. I've changed my mind. I'm boosting him even more. He hasn't got a good game or anything. What you looking
I
for?
was just conveying my confusion. I was looking for your
Well,
marbles.
no,
It seems like you
there's-
lost them somewhere around
There's
here.
no confusion here. My marbles are on Waluigi's pinball machine.
Wow. Okay. So be it. Well, personally, when I'm looking at Waluigi, what's the difference between what's the difference between him and a man? Sure, he may be long, he may be purple, he may have a nose. But don't we all? Don't we all? Waluigi, for me personally, I don't have as much of a love for him as you do, it would seem. I do agree that he's definitely underrepresented in Mario games. He's not had his own time to shine, except for on the pinball court in the
On the
pinball
pinball
machine.
court,
Imagine if like pinball was a game you could just play like in person with a. That would be cool. I don't know how that would work, but someone work on
I
it.
don't either.
But I do think that he has had a cultural impact, which I can't say for all these characters necessarily. He's definitely not an essential aspect
Well,
of the Mario universe, like Bowser
Which
is.
of these characters has not had a cultural impact? I guess Daisy, but I feel like
Daisy.
the rest of them are pretty significant
true.
Characters.
That's true. But the main thing about Waluigi is people really want him to be in Super Smash Bros. And that just immediately means he causes love, hate, joy, sadness, anger at some other source. And just those emotions mean he has some merit to his existence. I will say I don't really know much about him on a personal level. I haven't met the guy. I haven't,
I want to know
talked to
more.
him. I know you want to know more. You've made that abundantly clear. But I do think that for me, he's not quite at the A level. I personally would put him closer to B. I think he's a good character. I think there's a lot of intrigue to him. We always want to know more about him. But I don't think that he merits the same ranking as the legendary being that is Toad.
Sure. Next up, let's do Princess Peach. Princess Peach, we also talked about before, but just to recap.
Just to the cap.
She doesn't do a lot, but when she is playable, she's cool.
Yes.
And she can float, and she gets all the power-ups and stuff.
And she is
and
pink. And pink.
And she's pink. Pink is
pretty
cool.
great color.
Pink is cool. She's got more of a character in like the Paper Mario games.
Absolutely true. That's something I didn't even consider.
Which is cool. She's got yeah.
I will say Paper Peach would get a higher ranking than Peach for me.
For
all the paper
sure.
characters are very interesting. If anyone hasn't played the original Paper Mario, highly recommend. Gives a lot more depth to these characters. Waluigi's not in it, which I know that Charles, you okay there? You good? You all right there? You cool?
I can't believe Waluigi's not in Paper Mario. Oh man.
I guess.
Anyway, but yeah, I think that Peach most times is just there to play the role of damsel in distress, and I always wish that they gave her more of a chance to shine as opposed to just being that role and always being kidnapped by Bowser and always, just doing the same thing. And I will say, she makes some good cake apparently for Mario at the end of Super Mario 64.
Does make good cake.
That's one of her
She is
traits.
the person. She's the person that pushes Toad out into danger. And while
That's
Toad
true.
does seem eager to serve his princess, his ruler,
Hold
It is
on,
concerning.
just give me one moment. One moment. I promise this will be worth it. Can you say that same thing again? While Toad
Which part?
is eager to serve his princess,
while Toad is eager to serve his princess,
his
his
okay, sorry, continue. It was worth it. Just keep going.
Gosh, you hit me.
I'm so glad you. I'm gonna be honest, Charles. This is absolutely a taste of your own medicine. You needed this.
Why does it taste so bad?
Well, I mean,
It tastes so good when I make it.
you don't ever drink it. You just serve it to others.
My penicillin.
Yeah, that's it. This whole time you've been taking a placebo.
Wow.
Just keep going.
I don't know how you stroke.
I was trying to man, it's deep. I said get a taste of your own medicine, but he was just taking a placebo.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put Peach at B tier. When she participates, she's cool, but she doesn't get quite enough time in the spotlight. But when she's around, she's a welcome character. Next, let's talk about Yoshi. Specifically the green Yoshi.
Boy.
Though once again we do have a Toad situation where, I'm pretty sure all Yoshis are male, even though they lay eggs. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sorry, just analyzing the
Mario
Super Mario wiki here.
The ancient texts.
It does not appear that gender and/or sex is necessarily mentioned as a defining characteristic.
I feel like
Oh wait,
I read it.
there is a
somewhere,
whole
but-
Yoshi species page. Oh my gosh. Yoshis can spontaneously lay hollow eggs after eating other animals or fruit and use them as projectile weaponry. Absolutely true. I don't think it says anything about male and female on this though.
Well, regardless, Yoshis are one continual species essentially, and they hatch. When they're babies, they're fat and glorious.
That's very
fat,
true.
glorious babies that eat stuff. Fantastic dudes. When they're adults, they're like, yeah, hop on, let's hang out. I'll go. You can ride me wherever you want, and I'll eat some stuff for you. And, but Mario does not treat them nicely all the time. In Super Mario World, he punches the back of Yoshi's head to make him stick out his tongue. He has been well known to abandon a Yoshi just to make a jump. So, I think Yoshis are like the dogs of the Mario universe, you know, and not in that they don't have personalities or can say things, but in that they are so loyal and kind and true, and that is why I am giving Yoshi the S tier.
Clap it up, boys. I honestly could not concur more consistently with what you stated than with what I'm doing right now, which is giving Yoshi the other S tier ranking for me. Thank you.
This is a thing now.
I just kind of made
we'll
it.
only applaud if we both do the S tier.
I gotcha.
If you gave like, I don't know, someone bad an S tier, I'd be upset.
Right. But Yoshi is a character. One other thing I want to note before anything else is that Yoshi appears in the best of the best Mario games. He's in Super Mario World, which in my opinion is one of the best 2D platforming Marios. He also appears in Super Mario Galaxy 2, arguably even better than Super Mario Galaxy, the original. And you mentioned the baby Yoshis, which are included in New Super Mario Bros. U? Is that correct? Yeah. And they have all these interesting, unique features.
I think they're also in a different game, but I cannot remember which one.
Probably true. But yeah, they just chomp boys up, and they're loyal and lovable. And I can't do a Yoshi impression for my life, but I do genuinely. I was okay. That's not so bad. That's not so bad.
Wait,
that's Mario, but it was a disturbingly good Mario. Wait a minute. Mario, are you here? Are you here, man? I hear you. But yeah, Yoshi's definitely my favorite character.
Let's go.
I'm like genuinely impressed by Charles Mario.
I'm a good Mario.
I make you Mario and the voice actor for Mario all the time. Have the same first name. All Charleses are inherently gifted with the ability to make some sort of Mario noises.
You heard it here first, folks. You heard it first, folks.
That's what you did.
That is what I do.
I also do like playing as Yoshi in Super Smash Bros. Not entirely related, but just a side note.
Sure.
And he's just got so many different beautiful hues.
Right.
Just a lot to offer. So I completely agree. S tier.
Next up, we're gonna talk about the younger brother, Mr. Luigi.
I was gonna say.
I do know you're a fan of Luigi, and honestly, Luigi doesn't get enough credit. He's scared often, but he works through his fear to be courageous, right. and he, can jump higher than Mario.
True.
He is also the same.
He's got them
brother,
hops, if you will.
He's got them hops. I just don't think Okay, well, a lot of the things wrong with Luigi are the same things wrong with Mario.
Things wrong with Luigi. I'm not sure I understand.
For instance, he is a plumber.
Is there something wrong with being a plumber, Charles?
There's nothing wrong with being a plumber. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being a plumber. Okay. As long as you actually plumb things. When does Luigi plumb? When is he ever a plumber? He says
plum, Plum.
He never. It just. He's like, I'm a plumber. I'm Luigi.
I was gonna say your Mario impression and your Luigi impression are two very different things here, apparently.
Wahoo! It's a me.
I'm a plumber.
Luigi.
Plum.
Luigi time.
No, okay, but he's a plumber. He says that's his job. When is he ever actually being a plumber? I feel like he's always, out slaughtering.
I think you need to watch.
Luigi is a warrior.
You need to watch the Super Mario Super Show.
Okay, but outside of the Super Mario Super Show. Okay, never mind. But just Luigi himself, I'm giving him A tier. I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for all the work that he does. He always is playing second fiddle. 2013 was the year of Luigi, but maybe every year should be the year.
It was 2013. That feels like
7
so
years
long
ago.
In the words of,
but they should be together. It should be Mario and Luigi brothers. Mario and Luigi, brothers.
Yeah, it's like how we're the Andre and Charles Hart, brothers. Yeah. Right. That's what we are, exactly. But I was going to say, he doesn't get enough credit for all the credit he gave us,
Wow.
Basically.
Hamilton
Yeah,
reference.
that's just Luigi for you. I do personally identify with Luigi as the younger brother. And I will say, I think part of the reason he is generally a favored character over Mario, I think, by the general public, is that he has a real personality to him. He has a flaw, multiple flaws, just in that he is fearful of things.
Right,
and
yeah.
having that overcome fundamentally makes him a more compelling character to us from a narrative standpoint. And just seeing him overcome his fears in Luigi's Mansion makes him a true hero. I feel like a lot of the times in the Mario games, you might, when you're playing as Super Mario, you might not necessarily feel like you're truly in danger. You have so many lives at your disposal. You just have a smile on your face all the time. And Peach gets kidnapped, but then she gets saved. And it's just this cyclical nature that we're all kind of used to. But Luigi's Mansion, he's genuinely fearful for his life and for the lives of his loved ones. He's fearful of all these ghosts, these creatures that aren't even boos. They're just kind of there. They just appear out of nowhere. Like, what's going on? And he's able to overcome that, and that makes him more interesting. Also, green's a better color than red. Personal opinion there.
Sure. Yeah, agreed.
And I just think
Green's actually the best color. Like, of all the
don't-
colors, green's the
not
best
true,
one.
but I understand where you're coming from there.
No, it is.
No, so Yoshi is green, and that makes it kind of
Yoshi's
green's a better
green,
color.
yeah.
Still to that, but I do think blue is a better color. I think we can all kind of agree on that note at the very least. That blue is definitely a better color than green. But
Yeah,
right,
sure.
right. Now we're on the same page. Charles, I saw you wink. Just letting you know. Just letting you know, I saw you wink. You can pretend that I don't see you wink. I know you're winking.
Okay.
You also don't have to put your hand up to wink to like cover up like you're whispering, because you're not whispering.
No,
you're
I
just...
know.
Okay. Anyway, Luigi, I also put him in A tier. I don't think he can necessarily match the just pure love that I have for Yoshi, but I do think that I think Luigi's a truly great aspect of the Mario universe, and also he allows player 2. And we all
He does
a
allow
lot of
players
times
to
a
be
lot of
his-
times we think we can just be our own player once, but sometimes we need a player 2.
You need a player too.
Let that be the lesson you take away from today's episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Next up, second to last character. Let's talk about Wario.
Boo! Boo! Boo!
So, Wario's whole thing is that he's the opposite of Mario.
Sure.
But he's not,
Yep.
though.
Actually,
He's
I
not the
actually want you to
opposite of
elaborate on
Mario.
that, because I don't think I fully follow exactly where you're going.
What are Wario's main characteristics?
Here's the thing, Charles.
Smelly,
Mario...
garlic, farts, and he's greedy. Mario is also greedy. He grabs coins out of everywhere, but he's not like a notoriously like clean, good-smelling guy.
My name's Mario. I'm
He's
I'm
just
all...
like a normal dude.
My name's Mario. I hate garlic, and I'm frugal with my money.
It's Mario like advertising for a toothpaste brand. Yeah.
Farts?
Um,
That sounds gross to me. I've never farted in all my days.
Mario doesn't fart, confirmed. You heard it here first, folks. I said it right that time.
You did say it right then.
Why'd you?
Sorry, what?
Why'd you?
Oh, I was just saying, I don't think that it's actually officially confirmed. But you seem to
okay.
think
I
it
thought you were
was.
saying. I thought you were saying
You
like.
just- you still
you're
said
like,
it
bro,
wrong."
Mario definitely
Oh,
farts. Mario definitely
Also
farts.
probably true, if we're just being real.
That is probably true.
But we didn't come here to talk about it. We came here to talk about Wario. I'm gonna be honest.
came here to talk about
Wario
Wario and
is
how
a
he smells
disgusting
bad.
creature.
Yeah.
Any
They made
character...
like a redesign for. They made like a redesign for him for Brawl, and they made him like a biker, and like that didn't help. It made him look grosser.
I don't understand. Nothing against bikers. I think it's
Nothing
fair to
against
say
bikers.
most bikers and motorcyclists aren't as smelly and farty as Wario is, or greedy for that matter. I was gonna say, when you can't think of like a positive adjective to describe a character, I think that's a sign that they probably aren't exactly at the top of the tier list here. I genuinely would be fascinated to have a conversation with someone who's like, my favorite Mario character is Wario. I love him. He has yellow as his
Yeah,
favorite hue. And
nobody loves Wario.
yeah, he's just nasty. His down B in Super Smash Bros. Is to fart, and he charges it up over time. And it's one of the most powerful single hit moves in the game if you use it correctly. And to me, That's horrifying. That's truly appalling. That is more powerful than, say, a Falcon Punch from Captain Falcon. That just
A
shows you
bomb.
a what?
A bomb.
You just pronounced the B at the end of it and caught me off guard.
There's a B at the end. A bomb.
That's true, but I think you might be.
Yeah, Link has bombs.
Yes, but you also, if you think that you pronounce the B at the end of bomb, you might be kind of dumb, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, I just think
don't,
that you don't.
actually.
Oh, so you'll get it. You'll get it in a bit. Don't worry. But yeah, I think Wario has no real redeeming qualities. I was going to put him in D, but now I'm realizing, what do I like about Wario? As a concept, he's fine. You know, he's the mirror of Mario. The M upside down becomes a W. That's kind of clever, right?
Sure.
But they
sure.
don't ever actually use that. It's not like there's some, from my knowledge at least, there's not some game where like Mario has some like cursed cloning thing gone wrong. It's not like a Sonic Shadow relationship. I know you probably love Shadow the Hedgehog.
I was gonna say.
Instead, it's just
you
kind of
got,
like Wario just shows up. He's just there, and you're like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing, man? What are you doing?"
Well, I'm pretty sure Wario is an evil clone of Mario. I think that is his introduction, is that he was a clone of Mario, but just gone gross.
I'm going on to the Mario wiki needs to clarify.
I think it's like Super Mario Land 2 was like Wario's introduction.
Well, you're definitely correct on that. That was the game that he originated in. But it doesn't necessarily seem like he's... What the heck? Wario's relationship to Mario was inspired by the American comic book characters Popeye and Bluto. Learn something new every day. It doesn't...
I don't know anything about Popeye.
I don't either. I don't think he's officially a clone. He's just kind of the antithesis
Sure,
of
okay.
what Mario represents.
Well, if you compare like the Mario Wario relationship to like a Sonic the Hedgehog Shadow the Hedgehog relationship, Shadow the Hedgehog is Sonic, but he's mean and he's edgy. Like Sonic's like, haha, I'm gonna move really fast and I'll stop.
if we're gonna
bad
be
guys."
honest,
And
they're
Shadow's
both pretty
like,
cool. Like they're really
They're both
really
pretty cool. Yeah,
I'm like
They're
every
both
time I go outside, I'm like, man, I could run like Sonic or Shadow right now. That'd be so
Yeah.
epic and so cool and awesome.
He's so epic.
Right.
So Shadow is cool and Wario drools.
Ooh,
And
bars. Wow.
yeah, Shadow is cool and Wario drools, and that is my cardinal rule.
Yeah.
We can't beatbox because there's a delay
It's true.
between them. Anyways, Wario gets F'd here. F for fart.
Oh, that's too good for me to not also do the same thing. Can you do a Wario impression?
Wah. Wario. Wah. Ooh. Bunch.
Wah,
Wah. Wah. Wah.
wah,
I can hear you wah-ing from your room.
wah.
Wah!
Anyway, I will say I got some
Anyways.
joy out of doing that, but that's more joy than Wario
That
has
is the
given me in
most
a
joy,
lifetime.
yeah. Wow. And last but not least,
We'll see.
Super Mario himself.
Yes.
Now, Mario, I'm having mixed feelings
I
about,
concur.
because on one hand, he's not a plumber. We've established that. I mean, he's kind of a plumber in one TV show one time, but like for the most part, they call him a plumber. He's not a plumber. He's just a dude in overalls. 2, he kills so many Goombas and Koopas by jumping on their heads and squashing them to death. He doesn't have much of a personality. We know he likes Princess Peach,
Right.
and that's what he's
Right.
drawn by. He seems to enjoy cake. Also, Princess Peach always makes cake, and he's like, "That's cool."
Charles, I will play
Um,
devil's advocate for just a moment here regarding
Yeah,
Mario's genocide of all these creatures. Would you not also say that in their lifetimes, practically all of these characters have done the same? Luigi, when he is the secondary character, or Princess Peach, or Toad when they are
Peach.
playable. Yoshi devouring these
You
creatures.
know,
Is that
you
any
know the
different?
only person that has not committed a genocide?
Don't you dare say Waluigi.
It's Waluigi. He's the only character you can't play as to kill other characters. Waluigi only shows up. That's why there's no Waluigi games! Because he's a peaceful a peaceful paragon. All he does is want to play tennis and kart, and he's clearly related in some way to Wario, but wants no part in his greedy, smelly schemes. Waluigi is S tier now.
Okay, that's a little bit extreme there, brother.
Waluigi,
don't you think that's... Whoa. Don't you think that's
honestly,
a little bit extreme
everyone else... Yoshi I can pardon because he eats people and he needs to eat to survive. But if every other person has committed what's essentially a video game genocide, where they kill dozens and dozens and dozens of Goombas and Koopas and Troopas, oh my, then isn't the one person that doesn't the best person in this entire world?
I have several arguments to make here. First of all, you've committed a black and white fallacy here by implying that there's either mass genocide or no mass genocide, and those are the two options. We don't know enough.
Is there not?
We don't know. That's a fair point. However, what I'm claiming is it's not like we know if Waluigi's killed people or not. We don't have enough information about him to truly make a conclusion on whether he has or not. And also, we don't know enough about the creation of Goombas and Koopa Troopers to truly understand what they are, because they come out of the pipes, right? They come out of pipes all the time, and they just get spawned infinitely, one after the other. I don't understand how that happens. Are they being cloned? Are they just there solely to die? It seems so bizarre to me, and
I don't think the issue there is I don't think it matters how you conceive the life of a Goomba. I think if you kill dozens and dozens of adult ones of
murder
them,
is murder.
Then murder is murder. Now, while Waluigi, we don't have enough information about him. You know what? We do have enough information about him. He is absent from so many games that involve murdering creatures like this.
It's a reasonable inference that he is not involved in those events.
He's not involved. Wario also seems less interested in violence than he is in money, but definitely okay with violence. Perhaps this is why Waluigi is only in Smash Brothers as an assist trophy, because you can only summon him that way, and he'll come around and kind of like hit people with his tennis racket. But he's not there by choice. He's been summoned by this trophy. He chooses not to fight. Meanwhile, Mario fights all day long. He throws things. He hurts people and Koopas. And I'm not saying that, it's bad that he's trying to save Princess Peach, who has been kidnapped. I'm just saying we got to take into account Mario's body count here.
I have a metaphor that I know you're going to like. Not really a metaphor, an analogy. How do you feel about John Wick?
John Wick is cool.
He's got his own motives for what he does, but he also has a very high body count. And in these situations, those against him are largely the aggressors. Would you claim that the Goombas and Koopas are the aggressors? And I guess it depends on the enemy type here, because I know that the Angry Sun, for example, or the Koopalings are certainly the aggressors when you're fighting against them. But it seems like the Goombas and Koopas, although they do harm you if you are horizontal to them, they are largely just going about their lives back and forth peacefully.
So it depends.
It does.
It depends on the game, because in the 3D Mario games, Goombas will be like, "Yo, it's Mario, let's charge!" And they run straight at you.
Is it self-defense? That's an important distinction to make.
Now, so I feel like though, like, is it okay to kill so many people? Because Mario's kind of at war here. His ruler has been captured. He must go rescue her. John Wick, on the other hand, is basically like, hey, this guy broke into my... You haven't seen John Wick, is the thing.
Facts. Absolutely true.
I don't know if you know, I literally watched John Wick last night. Did you know that?
Oh, I did not know that. Why has that been the accent of choice?
I don't know. You've been going Australian a bunch of times.
It's like an Australian Thor, which doesn't make sense.
We have to watch John Wick, but to largely summarize it...
I'm so sorry to whoever just heard me crack every single bone in my body.
Popcorn.
Wow.
To summarize, John Wick, he's basically just like a cool, fine dude. And then these guys are like, "Hey, I like your car. Is it for sale?" And he's like, "No." And then in Russian, he's like, "Everything has a sale." everything is for sale. And then John Wick back in Russian says, not this. And he's like, oh, you talking back to me? So then they break into John Wick's house, beat him up, kill his dog, take his car, break the glass on his other car. John Wick is a retired mercenary assassin. So then he's like, well, I'm going to get revenge. But before he can even get revenge, they send like a squad of like 12 guys to his house to kill him, which he quickly dispatches. And at that point, he's like, I have to kill them in order to not be killed myself. So in the context of John Wick 1, it is almost entirely self-defense, but there is definitely some revenge in there.
Can I tell you another plot summary for you real quick?
Another plot summary, okay.
So Mario is just chilling at his home. Bowser walks up and says, hey, is this princess for sale? And he says, nah, it ain't for sale. And he says, everything has a price. Everything is on sale. And then Mario goes, not this. And then Bowser goes, you know what, I don't care. Brings in a whole ship. Knocks over Mario. Gets Princess Peach. She goes away. Just like that. Kidnaps her. And Mario goes, alright, I guess I gotta go get my princess back. Not his property, just to be clear. Not like she's just an object. Although that is kind of one problem with her portrayal in these games. She's often just kind of a means to an end. She's just kind of what is the goal as opposed to really a person. But then as he's going along, what does he see in his peaceful mushroom kingdom? But mercenaries sent there to kill him by none other than Bowser. And it's just not easy for him to all of a sudden be like, I'm going to dodge these guys, which you can choose to do in the game. I do want to also point that out. It is truly the player who's committing the genocide when they murder the Goombas and Koopa Troopas. Oftentimes, you could choose to avoid them and choose to avoid the coins if you didn't want to be greedy. So it's tough for me to blame everything on Mario here. That being said, I'm not just a Mario fanboy, just so we're on the same page.
Right.
I do also think he's got a lot... He doesn't have a lot to offer as a person, as a character. He's not too compelling compared to Luigi. And he also is always just portrayed as the hero and the good guy, which means we don't see the other side of him. We don't see any of his flaws. We don't relate to him. We just kind of put ourselves in his shoes and just go.
Now, he does wield incredible power.
Yes, and he also is genuinely heroic in a lot of his acts.
Yes. I think Mario's right in the middle of the road, C tier. I think that's right where they want him. I don't think they want him to be... Well, because kind of like when you're making a character for someone to play as, you want to have them essentially as like a blank slate so that this person can project their feelings
Tabula
onto
rasa,
them.
John
Yes. Link, for example, he has more of a
what
character in the most recent games, but in the older games he doesn't say anything, and it's because you're supposed to experience things as he experiences them, essentially.
I love Legend of Zelda games a lot, so I'm not gonna lie. Yes, I personally am going to put Mario in B tier. I think he has, regardless of how I feel about his role in the narrative, he has good intentions. And I respect him for that, and he does good things. And without Mario, there is no Mario universe. Like it's tough to build up all these other characters and have such a beautiful being as Yoshi without a Mario there. I will say the thing that keeps Mario from being A or S to me is his absolutely abhorrent, inexcusable abuse of Yoshi, who, as we all know, is the single best character.
The dog of the Mario universe, as I said.
Precisely.
You can't hate dogs.
So it's tough. Actually, oh my gosh, I forgot to mention this part of the plot summary when I was talking about Mario. I'll just jump back for a second here. So Mario says, this one isn't for sale. Bowser comes in,
kills his Yoshi,
and then steals his Princess Peach. Goes back and they have to, so just that whole thing makes him definitely stay in B tier for me. But I do respect Mario, even if he's far from my favorite character in the universe.
Well, that about wraps up this Tears of Joy episode. We can do a recap real quick on what we did.
I will say, I don't know if I remember.
I also don't remember
Bowser.
all of them. Here's what we'll do, because this is video now. I'll just be like, and then they'll all appear right there. Yeah, it's amazing. They're right there. They're there right now. So we don't even have to remember, but this is that one. And that's that one.
Awesome. That sounds perfect.
It's great. Before we go, I just want to say I'm going to just link a few things we've done in the time since we recorded last, because it's been like all quarantine. Basically, school happened during the quarantine, and then we wanted to focus on that, and then we kind of just fell off of the wheel for a while. I think we'll get back into making it. We're not sure. There's not like a consistent schedule for this or anything,
Right.
but Andre made this fantastic poem video.
I made the poem. He made the video.
Right.
That's the real balance there.
So I'll link that in the description for anyone that hasn't seen it. I just released an album last Wednesday/Friday. It's called Phoenix. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, the works.
Everywhere, essentially.
So go listen to that if you're interested.
In order.
Listen in order, yeah. If you don't listen in order, it will be confusing and probably depressing. And yeah, I think that's all we got for today. Want to do your outro, Andre? Want to send us off?
Yes. So, do I remember it? Do I remember the whole thing? It's been a long time, brother.
Did you write it down somewhere?
On my old phone,
Which
which no longer is here.
you can make something up. Make something up. On
Yeah,
the
I
fly.
can make it up off the top of the dome piece here. So, viewer, listener, whatever you are,
Gamer.
thank you for listening to and/or watching this episode of Tears of Joy. If you liked it, please hit the like button. It really helps us out. And also, please feel free to leave your personal list of
Leave
your favorite
any
Favorite Mario characters in the comments down below, unless you think Wario is anywhere above F tier, in which case you are... Actually, you know what? Please do.
Tell
Explain to me why Wario is above F tier. Explain to me why Yoshi is below S tier. I want to feel a little bit more informed than I was before. If you have the inside information on Waluigi, please let us know. Aside from that, that's been it for this episode. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time.
I just want to have one more thing. If you do have a suggestion for an episode that you want us to do in the future,
Oh, yeah.
leave it in a comment, and we will almost certainly do it, because no one ever leaves them in the comments, and
Yes.
we have 20 consistent listeners or whatever. So if you want to do that, totally do it. We'll almost certainly do it. Yeah. Thanks for watching / listening. See you guys.
See you in the next